One, the fastest cars in the world, racing on one of the most iconic streets in the world, the Las Vegas Strip. But behind all the glitz and the glamour of motor racing, is there a deep, dark underbelly that Formula One doesn't want you to talk about? Well, today we're going to talk about it in two parts. The light side, what Formula One wants you to know, and then the dark side, what Formula One wants to keep hush-hush. Because examining both is critical, I think, in empowering you to be able to understand how business, politics, and society functions, who are the usual winners, and who are the usual losers. After almost a 40-year absence, Formula One is heading back to Sin City. Except this time, the race won't be held in the Caesars Palace parking lot like it was in 1982, but rather now a 3.8-mile track down Las Vegas Boulevard, flanked by the city's famous casinos, hotels, and restaurants. That's objectively cool. Full disclosure, I've been a fan of Formula One since I was a kid. I literally still have this game, Formula One 98, on PlayStation, so I do have a little bit of a bias here. Touted as the greatest show on earth, the race CEO Renee Wilm says, quote, "Our opening ceremony will rival the Super Bowl halftime show."
When we decided that we wanted to hold our race here, it was because this was the perfect marriage of glamour and speed. And when you think about that, there is no other place in the world that can offer this level of entertainment, hospitality, we wanted to really accentuate and highlight everything this town has to offer.
In addition to the racing events, the 4-day event will also include live music concerts as well as free food catered by Wolfgang Puck. And total attendance is expected to be up to 105,000 spectators per day.
When Formula One takes over the Strip in November, check this out, it's expected to generate $1.2 billion for the economy. And did you know that's twice the economic impact expected from the Super Bowl that's coming to Allegiant Stadium next year?
That's a solid rake. According to its website, Formula One expects the Las Vegas Grand Prix to create a $1.28 billion economic impact to the Las Vegas area in year one, including 7,500 new jobs, $1 million in cash contributions and local nonprofits, $5 million in projected sales tax distribution to local schools, and a $316 million investment in pre-event build-out and infrastructure. Not only that, Formula One also emphasized that sustainability is at the core of their mission to reduce carbon footprint in racing and create a positive environmental impact in Southern Nevada. On its official website, they outlined a number of initiatives such as replacing single-use plastics with eco-friendly alternatives, implementing a food rescue plan, and monitoring air quality. I know this is supposed to be the light side of the segment, but a lot of those environmental initiatives sound a bit vague, no? They also highlighted their community outreach work through the Las Vegas Grand Prix Foundation, tackling, quote, some of the most pressing challenges facing families and communities in Southern Nevada through the power of motorsport.
What is fascinating about our race is that, and our sport generally, is that we are a Super Bowl at every event. We take this Super Bowl-like event throughout the entire world, throughout our calendar. So, just sit tight and see how amazing it will be.
Super Bowl-like entertainment that's good for the economy, good for the environment, and good for the community, so says Formula One. That's a win-win-win-win if I've ever heard one, but is there more to this story? As with any Formula One street race, there will be disruption to traffic. It happens in other famous street venues like Monaco, Singapore, Baku. Vegas is not unique in this regard. But the ongoing construction and restriction of foot traffic has significantly impacted employees and businesses on the Strip. Some employees are reported to having to commute up to 3 hours to get to work.
All they said was the roads are going to be closed off. Some days we don't even get a heads up that our parking lot is going to be shut off. It's hard to get to work on time.
Other workers have noted that the quote-unquote prep workers have received from their employers regarding the event runs along the lines of good luck, leave home earlier, park somewhere else, and take a bus or monorail. Don't be late. It's not our problem. Small businesses, too, are struggling. Jimmy Singh, manager at Las Vegas Souvenirs and Gifts off the Strip, said that his business has lost more than 50% of its business. So while Formula One had promised to quote-unquote minimize disruption to the city, saying that it's been a delicate process to be flexible so that property owners can make adjustments so that customers can still access their facilities, it turns out maybe that was a bit more PR than true intentionality on their part.
F1's saying we're going to make this money back up, but how are we going to make it back up when within one day we lose over thousands of dollars. Other days we're just so slow. They're making all the money and then we're just gonna keep losing money.
That's kind of a familiar story, isn't it? The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. But that's not the only trouble businesses are facing.
The racing giant is now asking those along the track to pay for a view of the race that they already have, a licensing fee for hotels, restaurants, and businesses like these along Las Vegas Boulevard. The article says licensing rights equal $1,500 a person, and those who do not pay are threatened with barricades, lights, and other obstructions in their customers' views. An anonymous Las Vegas casino owner calling the request insane.
Formula One modern day mobsters out here shaking down businesses.
I don't even know what authority they have. To my knowledge, in my 12 years, I don't recall anybody being allowed to charge a licensing fee or even solicit that kind of money. Because if they're going to try to price gouge businesses and constituents and then turn around and ask for public tax dollars, I think that there's something shady going on.
That's right. Formula One officials have requested $40 million from Clark County to cover the repaving costs for the new racetrack. I can't decide who drew the short straw. The business owners who are unlucky in that they are in a bad location where foot traffic has been cut off by construction. The business owners who are lucky in the sense that they're in a great location but is now being shaken down by the F1 mob for money. Or residents of Las Vegas who are now being asked to foot the bill for a giant entertainment media conglomerate worth more than $18 billion. Probably all of them, and as one worker puts it, every hotel is trying to hype up its workers as if we're all winning with F1 coming here. We are not. They are winning. They make all the money. They have no qualms about steamrolling their own workers and citizens of Las Vegas to make an extra buck. And speaking of shady, if you've ever been to Las Vegas in the past, there were these beautiful mature trees in front of the Bellagio fountain. You can kind of see them in the background here during the closing scene from the movie Ocean's 11. Well, guess what happened to those trees?
All of the healthy, established, mature trees in front of Bellagio, Las Vegas were cut down in the middle of the night for the Formula One race. This is what it looked like last week. See all of those trees on the right. Here's a view from the Spago patio and an aerial shot that shows you how many there were. And without telling anyone first, they literally came in during the night and cut them all down. It is now a barren landscape with zero shade. Sad little stumps are all that are left of where these beautiful large trees were. And what very few trees remain look like something has happened to them. They're not looking great.
All this to put in these massive grandstands in front of the fountain at the Bellagio so people can watch the race. With all this technology, they couldn't move the trees. So much so for environmental stewardship, am I right? And trees apparently were not the only thing that needed removing. In Las Vegas, there is a population of people who live in the city's dark labyrinth of flood tunnels underneath the strip. They apparently got to go as well.
So what do you understand is going to happen come race week?
They're going to require all of us who are underprivileged to become more underprivileged.
It's almost always about the economic boon for the few and not the many. Environmental concerns and community outreach is almost always an afterthought, lip service at best. Formula One and pretty much every other giant corporate entity, they don't see a city where people live, work, raise their kids. They see a street which they can exploit for profit, hotel rooms to be rented to the uber rich, tickets and luxury boxes to be sold, and billions of dollars to be made at the expense of everyone else. That's it for me this week. I'm curious to see how all this unfolds this weekend. Like I said, I've been watching Formula One since I was a kid, but does that mean they are above my criticisms? Hell no. Let me know what you think. Also, if you found my video helpful, please take a second to like, share it with your friends and family, subscribe to my channel, turn on that notification bell, and as always, I'd like to thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.